Welcome back to AVPlays. Welcome back to Big Ambitions. And we are picking right back up where the last episode left off. On Monday, day 155, it's 4 p.m. Yesterday we made $1 million, and we have $91,100 in the bank. And we are going to just head back home here. Get through the rest of this day. Hopefully that'll fix all these logistics issues that we're seeing. And that'll help us get all caught up, or that'll help us with what we need as far as money for the factory, as well as employees. Let's grab this taxi. Let's head home. And let's go ahead and watch TV. Okay, we'll call it a shower. And we'll sleep until 8 a.m.-ish. $909,000 made yesterday. Looks like all of those are taken care of. And what is the issue here? Clyde, not enough inventory to deliver burgers and hot dogs to the restaurant distribution from main distribution. And this person is getting offered training. So let's go ahead and do that. And let's eat, as I keep forgetting to do that. Now let's head back over to Fishery City. And is this open? It's not. But it will be by the time we get there. And I think what I'm going to do is we're going to grab like a personal vehicle from here, which will be this little Mercedes dash. Man, we own 10 vehicles, insane. And then I'm going to look at residential. And we don't need anything fancy, but I think I am going to just kind of have an apartment on this side of town. Let's check out what it looks like. And while we're waiting for the factory supply to open, we'll be able to kind of just add some furniture to here, even if it's just a bed. And was the wrong place. And I sneak through here. Okay. Nice. Oh. Alright, nice. And this is dreadfully slow, but I'll live with it. Hopefully our little apartment has furniture, or sorry, not furniture, parking, and it doesn't. So we'll have to find a place to park our personal vehicle, but we can live with this. Very small, but that's okay. We'll grab just like a bed for the bedroom, a TV. Let's see if Ika Bohog is open. Can't remember. So they should be in our contacts, I believe. Yes. They open at 10. Also 10. All right, so we're gonna just wait for 10 and take care of that. So let's drive over to the furniture supply store. Factory supply store. As soon as we get there, we'll hire all of these employees. This poor Mercedes Dash is already getting beat up and dinged up. It's been on for like all of 10 minutes. Now, did I need to purchase a personal vehicle and an apartment on this side? Absolutely not. It is absolutely overkill. I could have just taken the bridge over and lived with that. But since we're going to be on this side of town for a little bit setting up this factory, I figured it just makes life easier to do it this way. Let's go ahead. We'll sleep until 10. Wonderful. Call Ike a bohog. And this will be delivered today. And nothing too fancy. I do love that they added Christmas stuff. That's awesome. Go ahead. We'll get ourselves a sofa. Did we already pass the TV? Nope. Get ourselves a king-size bed. I guess a fridge for this side. And a TV. Wonderful. And that'll get there at 2 p.m. And we're going to get set up with another set of these, especially those. I'm going to go ahead and buy 8. And I believe 2 of those. 1, 2, 3 of these, I believe. We will need a laser cutting machine, which is always the most expensive, and a kiln. And that leaves us with $32,000. And one thing I didn't look at, and we'll look at now, is did the factory do well? This is still, pricing is on the bottom here. I'm going to go ahead. Let's knock that down to 155 and see what happens when we do that. Haven't been paying attention quite as much as I should. Let's actually look at some of what's going on because some of these businesses are new for you guys. So, Manhattan Bottles is doing great. Manhattan Nights, okay. Garment Bottles, doing good. Bird Green's Garment District 2, alright. So, a lot of businesses just making up some big chunk. These make up a nice chunk of what we're doing, but not nearly as much as these two. And our whole point was to look at what happened here. And do we have any Xenamin smartphones? Not seeing any. Why? Well, for one, this is not running. Well, we'll have to look at what's going on when we get in. But might as well do this. 24 employees. Honestly, yeah, let's just do this. And this helps us figure out if we messed anything up, which I'm sure we did. Otherwise, we would have made some form of phone in this amount of time. Okay, so we're still missing 2. What about part-timers? Part-time is just so much easier. Although, we are still missing all of that. Alright, let's work our way to the factory. And luckily here, we can just park this on the other side, because we'll only really ever have one vehicle needed. Let's grab everything we bought. Actually, let's grab these. Grab these. Go from here. And are we stuck? It looks like we are stuck because we don't have an output employee. That's highly obnoxious. Let me see if I can move one of these guys over. So we want input. I think we'll have, yeah, microphone. Let's go ahead and move this person to here. Does that change anything? And it might not. Who knows? I'm just looking at what each of these is doing to make sure they each have the input. Integrated circuits, resistors, undefined. All right, that makes a difference. Microphone. What is missing? And that should be a speaker. And this actually might be the entire holdup. Insane. And while I'm down here, I'm going to go ahead and grab a whole bunch of speakers and fill that up. Hopefully that gets everything started. That's why it's always important to kind of look and make sure everything is correct before you jump the gun and assume it is. And that's working on. And hopefully that gets the whole line going. And while we're waiting on that, let's start looking at what this next line is going to look like. Well, we have enough space. So this one's nice and easy. It's kind of the spiral. So and one here, one here, one here. And how close to this can we get? Right, and let's get this closer. That looks great. That's another input station, so I'll drop that there. And let's go ahead and move this. Move that. And we don't need the output quite yet. So that's one. And it's going to kind of be the same here. So let's go ahead and place this here. This one we'll put here for now. And let's go grab the rest of what's in the truck. We kind of don't really need those output stations, and I hate to say it, but that's okay. We had 3. Hopefully we won't buy any on the next trip. This is backwards. And the best way to determine where to put this is to do that. To move this over, do that. Okay. There's another output station. So we have to buy a few more input stations. I think I'm comfortable buying those today, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's grab the rest of these. can. I wonder. Oh, well, those would be new. Okay. Let's focus on ones that already have an employee for now. That way we make sure the existing line gets taken care of. Then now we can start looking at the rest. And honestly, we can just do that. Okay. And let's go ahead and add. I had a feeling that was what happened. So let's take one of you guys, add you down here. There we go. Try that again. Perfect. And back to here we go. And I know we could pretty much like invest in. Well, let me through here. Sorry. I know that we could grab like a loan to take care of some of this, but being debt free is important. And we're making enough money. It just comes down to the amount of patience we have when building this out. And I'm okay being pretty patient. I feel like we just took the longest route to this possible, and it looks like we definitely did. All right. And let's see just how many input stations we can kind of get away with here. And two, I forgot how types of these were. So we'll just grab two. I don't want to get that low, especially because we're still waiting for that order to come in. That's $8,000. I forgot about it already, so we will be getting pretty low today. And we have 8 more employees to add on. Maybe I'll have my headhunter search for more full-time employees. Like, we'll add the other headhunter to do that. All right, let's go ahead and take these last 2. And I'm going to add one over here. And it feels like we must be missing something. Maybe it's the resistors. Maybe these guys can't get out of here. I don't see why they wouldn't be able to. I'm going to place this and I'll grab the items they need. So we need resistors and integrated circuits. Maybe we didn't buy them. Nope. I see resistors. And integrated circuits. I'm not entirely sure why these guys aren't doing anything. But it seems like they are holding up everything. And maybe this is why. Okay. So maybe that just has to do that. And now we can get back there. This is going to do that. Make sure I didn't accidentally add any more, you know. Not that. Manage storage. Okay, so this added resistors to this instead of integrated circuits. Why would you do this to me? And where did my integrated circuits go? Questions I will not have the answers to, I guess. Let's go ahead and put these back, because we need to. And I will grab the integrated circuits here and bring them to where they need to be. These from here. And I think this might actually be working finally. Hopefully. And I'm going to grab this and drop it here. This is going to be okay. So we have microphone, speaker. This would be another speaker. Speaker, I guess. Seems overkill. Okay. He's doing ahead. What is this missing? Battery. Oh, okay. We messed up somewhere, of course. Where is the battery? Where does that come from? Nothing calls for a battery individually, right? So we just need to give it a battery. And that is what this is for. Wonderful. So let's go steal an input. And let's steal this. This is going to be batteries. Let's make sure we give it enough batteries to survive. And this is why it's a learning process, guys. You know, you would have messed up, would not have noticed the battery issue, but I would not have, for we weren't looking and making sure that this was working the way it should. Let's move one of these guys, electronics, from, well, you can go here. Battery, wherever it is, can't see it. There we go. Let's go ahead and hire these guys. Hopefully, there will be more than enough on the schedule full time. Love it. And we kind of killed an entire Tuesday trying to figure out how to do this. But, you know what? That's sometimes how the game is. That means Wednesday will be the first official full day of products being made. So we'll just see how many I made on Wednesday. It looks like this could be that missing piece that gets us going. Alright, well, let's go ahead and take our fancy-dancy new personal car and drive it home. I think we're gonna have to park over here. Or, oh, okay, you can park here. Is this the parking lot I saw? I think this is the parking. Let's park our car here. Kind of feels like it defeats the purpose. That's not a parking space. Okay. And let's go ahead and walk home. Actually, we're gonna have to wait for 2 p.m. So might as well do that. Now we'll walk home. And our king size bed can go right in here. Got ourselves a standard fridge that we'll have to fill up at some point. A sofa. And a TV. And we are going to go ahead and kill the rest of this day. Wonderful. Kill it a little bit more. And let's hire these guys, get them on the schedule. We're going to have our headhunter go ahead and look for full-timers here as well. Hopefully that gives us double the full-timers. Let's get these guys scheduled. Okay. That was our down. Part-timers. The reason I'm not stopping the headhunting of the part-timers is we're adding more machines anyway. So we're going to need more even if we have enough at the moment, which we don't. So we'll keep an eye on that. Let's go ahead. We're going to sleep until 10 in the factory of this, or the store. And we don't have to. Did this produce anything? We have 76. Hey, that is so much more than I thought it was going to be. And I'm not sure how many we need to begin with. But I think we're going to make one more Xanamin and kind of see where that gets us. And then we'll work on the art fish. Yeah, might as well hire these guys. $24? Okay. Yeah, it looks like we're getting more than we were. And of course, we could like condense these lines and have them each feed into like one input or one machine that might be able to output. Not sure. But it's something to think of. Part-timers. I love the just filling of the 12s for part-timers. Just makes life so much easier. And what I'm going to do is buy a whole bunch, we'll say 24 of the conveyor belts That way we have enough in the factory before doing anything else. And of course, we have the timers waiting. This looks funny. Just a car floating. That's what. I'm beating the car now. Well, I almost forgot to take the turn. Can't wait to see those closed off areas become open. I know I've said it before, but just map expansion in this game is so much fun. It kind of keeps it fresh because there's only so much you can do with the gameplay. Building factories, building up stores, but adding more areas to tackle makes it more engaging, fun. Like adding Industry City, great idea. I think it's super fun to have that added to the game. All right. And I am adding the carts. I know that. So this will be 18. We'll be able to buy 5 more in the cart. And the reason I'm just leaving the carts is it'll just be so much easier to take them out of the van with the carts and just leave them kind of like floating on the carts in the factory. And I bought 8 because I was talking and not paying attention. That will sit here and we'll come back for it. We're like already only 40 days away from needing to do taxes again. It's always on my mind, but it goes by so quickly. I should look actually. It's on my head. Pricing for this is still rock bottom. Do we change it? Yeah. I'm not sure. Is there a. Yeah. Let's try. Before I do that, how much are these guys getting paid? Does it tell me from here? Doesn't. I'm sure I could. Play graphics GD, and they're getting paid to 70. Okay, let's drop this down even more. Let's try, 120. Otherwise, we're really just wasting money by keeping that open. All right. So let's grab the first set here and see if these are needed anywhere. Let's grab the rest. Yeah, you'll part that again. This here. We're gonna grab the rest out of this. And all right, to load in the way this is looking, we are missing 2 input machines. Inputs for wheelies. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But these guys can start doing what they're supposed to do. So I believe we added a speaker. Microbuff. Speaker. So they can start grabbing what they need. Let's go grab the rest of the input machines. And while we're here, we're going to start the next line. So I just will grab this cart. So I believe we said we needed 4 more. And then for our next line, we need 4 more. So let's start with 2. Then we need 2 more. Then 1 more. We need 2 consumer goods. And then we need 4. One for the kiln, one for the laser machine. Here we're not going to be able to afford the kiln. We'll stop at that. All right, back to the factory we go. And this should be a second line completed and the third one started. Then we will begin work on the Art Fish smartphone, RD Fish, whatever it's called. And that'll be our next line. All right. And just grab the rest of this. That is 1. That's needed. There's a second. Need to figure out how we're tackling this. Okay. And I'll use this walking we got. We'll leave that. Now we need to determine how we're going to line these up. Well, it might need taking crap is off. How is this? So one is this fed price. So can't do that. We can have this one feed into it though. Let's do that. Of course, not an exact replica. No, but these are awful. Because what we actually this. Okay. On. Oh, that's fine. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That is actually on this side. Okay. This one's a little bit more complicated, but we're figuring it out. It's implementation. We got eight more conveyor belts to play with. Go ahead, back. And what I dislike about this one is where this leaves the entryway to get to here, but I think we'll figure that part out. It shouldn't be too awful. Also, this is a little bit off, so we'll have to figure that out. Because it should be now. Does that interrupt how it works, which shouldn't, but I think we still need to move this up or down one. Because, yeah. So, I think we're going to move it down the one. And why is this off? Yeah, it needs to go down the one anyway. Let me look at over it. Now it's stuck. Yeah, I mean, this one is way further down, it seems. Alright, so let's go down to here. And side here. They'll need to go down one or up one. Okay. There's that. And now let's just make sure. How do we get to here? And I think, yeah, that's what we did over there. See that. Great. That. And now, is it possible to get over there? Can we not get around that? We can't. So we could go backwards. I guess. Does that allow us to go to hide here? Here? Does that allow us? No, it doesn't allow us into there. So I think we're going to have to do the same thing here and turn this. Interesting. We also get this. Along with these, airport. Sorry, guys, I'm just figuring out the best way to handle this because the employees do have to get to their locations. That's important. And so if they're not able to get to their work location, then or out of their work location to get to the items they need, the whole system doesn't work. So I think we can shift. That's what that is. That shift. And what this now does is it creates that space. And that should allow for this employee to get to here. And we'll just need that extra one. Perfect. Wonderful. Now, what I need to figure out is the kill. How are we getting out of here? We're unable to get out of here. Oh, Lord. I have a half a mind to just repeat this on mirroring it. And I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. So, close this. Let's open up this. And let's just mirror it. This isn't mirroring it. It's doing the same exact thing. Which, you know what? I'm perfectly fine doing that. As long as it doesn't take up too much space, which it might. Right. You know what? I'm comfortable doing this. This is not the worst decision. But what we do have to do is make sure he can get back there. So we need to push this back a little bit more. Finally, they're in income station. Yep. Now, this is that. We have so much more room. Okay. You know what? We're going to live with this. And we're going to live with this because, bam, wonderful. Okay. Look too far. Okay. And I know what you guys are thinking is, won't I have to just repeat this process again on that side anyway? The answer is probably, definitely. But I have a little bit more time to think about how that process needs to be done over there. Wonderful. Here's an output station. Now, let's make these leave. And this we can literally plot here. With its own input station. And the kiln will just be here. And we forgot about the rest. So hold on. So, sorry, guys. Back at it again. Leave it there. Okay. Maybe there's one more. And that's going to feed into here in a very short way. Let's do that. And put down. Push it back up. And this is the longer one. Something tells me you don't need it to be this long. I guess maybe that's because we are building it so far up compared to this one. Let's bolt these. But then again, we could move this a lot more to the left and have space on the other side for another one, so might as well do that. Like, we could get this to here. I know this is boring, guys, so thank you for bearing with me. Yeah, I had a feeling that was going to happen. All right, let's do this. And I know this is absolutely a pain in the butt, but we are going to sleep a couple hours to pass the time so that we can keep fixing that. There we go. Yeah, you won't even have him go that far. All right, let's look at this now. I have a feeling we're going to want this here. So, there. Back over so that that's aligned. Perfect. Wait. Hold on. Good. That to connect. I'm losing my mind, guys. Why we still allow me to do things? I don't. So this pushes this pretty good. We're condensing some more space, and I like that. It's always important to condense as much space as possible in a factory where you have very little extra space. So that gives quite a bit of space on that side now. So This is working as is, or as it should. Let's go ahead back over. And what are we doing? This looks like a mess. And then this, really, it should line up perfectly. We'll leave that. All right. So what does this get us? Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Bam. Meaning this needs to push down a little bit. Okay. Wonderful. This creates this. Nope. It's not at all how that looks. As much as I would love for it to be that way. We've got 2. We've got this. Okay, is that lined up? Looks like it is. And then the kiln can be pretty much at the same level with the input. All right. And I think we can open this back up. And let's make sure the kiln is correct. So that would be a pain in the butt. I honestly think the kiln even move a little bit closer. It's just occupied. So let's make it not occupied. I think we can adjust it 1. Although I did just agree that it was where it should be. But I was wrong. These are all input station. These are conveyor belt. So let's finish this off. Yeah, okay. This is going to be the batteries. One. Let's go ahead and grab that input station for that. That's an output. Okay. And then we just have to get the enough input station to cover this. Or sorry, not input stations, conveyor belts. Well, let's go ahead and set the products here. So these are right. These can ship and even fed. Okay. And that's all that matters. This needs to be, what is it? Resistors. And I'll even do it fully. I will pad it in a sec. Can I pause? Does this help me? Can you? Sorry. Can I change it from here? Nope. All right. Never mind. All right. So this is resistors. Go ahead and grab strength of strengths. This is capacitors. And then capacitors. This is copper clad watt laminate. Wonderful. This is transistors and integrated circuits. This is transistors. And that was integrated circuits. Wonderful. This all falls in and creates the cinnamon foam. Do our batteries. The laser was what? Screen medium. And that was glass. Come on. Why even complete? That is because that would be an output station. And so we need glass. This is supposed to be screen medium. And the film gives us what? Molded smartphone out of plastic. Is it plastic? Molded smartphone. I believe that is everything this line needs. Let's go ahead and hire everybody from here. That's 46 people, so we should definitely have plenty of full-timers and part-timers for this. And all we need to do to finish this line is buy enough of the conveyor belts. So we will be going back to the store, buying some more conveyor belts, and then we'll finish this second line of smartphones. And hopefully by the time we open up our electronics store, we'll be in a great position to sell as much of this as we make. Or to make as much as we're trying to sell. All right, so we're still missing some full-timers. It's not going to hurt us. Let's look at our part-timer. Wonderful. So our part-timers are actually silver. So I'm going to pop. Let's go ahead and head over, grab the rest of the conveyor belts that we could clean. Sorry, I actually want to empty out what we have in here. That way we have enough space. And we might actually have conveyor belts in there. Now that I think about it, I don't think I bought any extra, but with my brain, you never know. We have a bunch of input stations. Let's grab these last two conveyor belts and do what we need with them. Hit the park that here. Yep, that's also a conveyor belt. Love to see it. And I'm just condensing a little bit. And now you can head over. Oh, what am I doing? The real question is, I'm not even going the right way. This is why I don't trust myself without marking it on the map. I think I'm doing the right thing, going the right way, and I'm way off. And I am going to buy, I think, 24, another 22, whatever, conveyor belts. All right. That's 28,000. What the fuck? Yeah, do another 28. Then we'll buy 7 this time. That fills the truck. Let's go ahead back to the factory. And we'll finish this line, start the next one. And our employee finally finished her training, so we'll get her back on the schedule as well. And what's happening with those trainings is other people are trying to poach our employees by offering them training. And this has almost exclusively been factory employees because they're getting 0 training. So I'm offering them the training, but what happens is they get paid. Now, could we just fire them and save the money? Maybe, but we're being a good person. And we're getting them the training they. All right, let's keep this going. And the important thing here is they need to be able to get back here from up there or through here. Okay, let's go ahead and grab more. And this is off a little bit. So how do we fix that? We are going to, let's temporarily close, go into interior designer and push everything back 1. And pushing this back allows us to have a little bit more space behind here as well, so it's not that harmful. Let's go ahead. Bam. Bam. And that means this line is done. The only thing missing is this output station. And also need to push keys back. Wonderful. So we should be good here. That's a second line. Let me make sure that it's doing everything. Let me make sure the lines show correctly. And it does. Choose and phone lines. And I think this is a perfect place to call this one an episode for you guys. We added a whole other line to this, and I know that one took a little bit longer than I expected it to. We will be adding our third line in this next episode and starting another product line. If you guys like this episode, please like and subscribe. As always, please comment anything you would like to see. And we will see you in the next one, guys. Thank you.